Hi, I'm Keith Blakeley. I'm the CEO of the Inventures Group. And for most of my career, I've worked at the intersection of science, strategy, and execution, helping teams take advanced technologies out of the lab and into the marketplace where they have to perform at scale. Over the past few decades, I've led and advised technology-based businesses across advanced materials, nanotechnology, energy, and consumer products, building companies, financing growth, forming global partnerships, and navigating the hardest part, turning promising innovation into industry leadership. Today, I want to share how I think about merging science, strategy, and scale. Because leadership doesn't come from having the smartest idea. It comes from building the best system to commercialize it. Point 1. Science creates advantage, but only if you translate it into outcomes. In technical industries, people often fall in love with the science, and they should, but the market doesn't reward science by itself. Markets reward outcomes. Better performance, lower cost, higher reliability, faster adoption, measurable ROI. So the first move is translation. Scientific capability becomes product advantage, becomes customer value, becomes a defensible position. If you can't explain your edge without a slide full of formulas, you don't yet have a commercial story, you have a research story. And when you do translate it properly, something interesting happens. Your science stops becoming cool and starts becoming strategic leverage. Point 2, strategy is focus, choosing where to win and saying no to everything else. Industry leaders aren't leaders because they do everything. They're leaders because they're disciplined about where they play and how they win. That means making clear choices. Which market segment will adopt first? What buying center are we targeting? What is the simplest product that proves the value? What must be true for scale to work? Supply chain, quality, regulatory, economics. A lot of companies try to maximize opportunity and end up maximizing distraction. Real strategy is focus, and focus creates speed. Speed creates learning, and learning creates momentum, something most competitors never catch. Point 3, scale is a capability, manufacturing, partnerships, and repeatable execution. A prototype can impress people. Scale is what builds leadership. And scale doesn't happen because you want it. It happens because you build the system. Manufacturing readiness, yield, consistency, cost down, quality system. Distribution readiness, channels, credibility, customer support. Partnership readiness, strategic allies who already have market access. In my experience, the factory is often the real competitor. If you can't make it reliably, ship it consistently, and support it in the real world, your competitor will, whether or not their science is better. Point 4, leadership comes from integration, teams that combine technical depth and commercial instincts. Here's what I've learned. Industry leadership comes from integration. You need teams that can hold multiple truths at once. The science has to be real, the product has to be manufacturable, the economics have to work, the market has to care, and the timing has to be right. And you need leaders who can connect those dots, align priorities, and build trust with investors, customers, and partners. That combination, technical credibility plus commercial judgment, is rare, but it's also what creates the kind of advantage that lasts. So, if your goal is industry leadership, don't think of science, strategy, and scale as separate tracks. Think of them as one system. Science gives you the edge if you translate it into outcomes. Strategy gives you focus, where to win and what to ignore. Scale makes it real, repeatable execution that the market can't deny. And leadership comes from integrating all three better than anyone else. If you do that, you're not just building a product, you're building a platform for dominance. I'm Keith Blakeley. Thanks for watching. And if you're building something ambitious, remember, the winners aren't the ones with the most ideas. They're the ones who can execute the right idea at scale.